Welcome to Manflow Yoga. It's yoga for guys. Hey guys, how's it going? Dean, Manflow Yoga. I don't have a plan today. I'm just going to run you through a bunch of stuff. We're going to concentrate on back in the end. First, we're going to go through a lot of standing poses just to warm up, and then we'll end up on our stomach, on our back, maybe some other stuff too. So let's start in down dog. Pushing heels into the back, bringing your hips up as high as you can. Pressing through your fingertips and your hands, framing your head with your biceps. Alternate pressing your left foot down and then your right foot down. Look forward and then walk forward. Bring your feet to meet your hands. Let's just set up in a ragdoll to start out with. So let your chest come down to your thighs. Let your head hang heavy. Opposite hand to opposite elbow. And just hang down here. Let your head be a weight like a bowling ball. Just bringing your head, bringing your upper body closer to the ground. Maybe straightening your legs a little more. Making sure that you keep your chest tucked into your thighs though. Bring your hands to meet the ground. Let's do a half lift. Bend your legs as much as you need to so that you keep a straight back. Neck in line with your back, looking straight at the ground. Upper body perpendicular with the ground. Forward fold. Let's come all the way up now. Full mountain pose. Reaching up, engaging your core. And bring your hands down to prayer. And bring your feet together. We're going to start off just standing here with your eyes closed. And you're going to start to bring awareness to your whole body. So start doing that by rooting your feet into the ground. Bringing a micro bend to your knee. Engaging all the muscles in your legs. Turning your pelvis slightly upward. Engaging your core. And then reaching your shoulders up and then down and back. Keep your hands in prayer if you want. And then try and bring your crown of your head as high as you can to the ceiling. So everything is kind of active to some extent right now. And bring your hands out to the side for mountain pose. Palms are open to the front wall. Eyes still closed. Being aware of how your body moves back and forth as you try and find your balance. Then open your eyes and bring your hands to meet at the top, palms pressing together. Look up and then open your hands and go for a slight back bend, very small, just a little bit to open your chest up to the ceiling. Pulling your hips forward. And come back. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your feet back to the back of the mat. Bring your body, upper body forward, and then lower down all the way to the mat, keeping your elbows tucked into your sides. Inhale, halfway lift. Inhale to a cobra. Pressing tops of feet into the ground using your lower body and your lower back to lift your upper body off the ground. And then exhale, push back into a down dog. You can alternate, so pedal your feet back and forth for now. Let's open up into a three-legged dog, stuff side leg. So what's going to happen now, you're going to bring your right leg up and then open your hip up to the right wall, like you were a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, and then let the weight of your right heel bring your hip open your body up. Your hands should stay even here, don't let your hands move. And your body weight should stay even as well. your back foot, so your left foot right now, that heel should still be pointing toward the back wall. It shouldn't be bent. And let's bring your right foot back to meet your left foot. Still in down dog. Reach your left foot up now. And then open that up and bring your left leg over your body. Press your right heel into the ground here. And then you should look at your left armpit. Bring your left foot to meet your right foot. Look forward, bend your knees, and then jump forward, bring your feet to meet your hands. Landing lightly. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Knees slightly bent. Reaching your body out as far as you can. Nice long sides. Crown of the head as far as you can forward. And then exhale, forward fold. Feet come to the back of the mat and prepare to float. Chaturangas. Lower down, elbows into your sides. Inhale to an up dog. Pressing tops of feet into the ground. And then exhale into down dog. Inhale your right leg up and bring your right foot to be framed by your hands. And then lower your left knee. Come to a low lunge. Tops of toes on the ground. Come up. Pull your right hip socket back and then pull your left hip forward. Hands rest on your thigh. For now it's okay if your knee goes over your toes, that's fine for now because we're in low lunge. When you go into high lunge, you want to make sure that you keep your knee just above your ankle. For now we're just trying to open up our hip. Sink into this pose a little deeper if you can. And then let your foot be framed. And let's come to meet your left foot to your right foot. And then let's go into a chair pose. Straight into it. So squeeze your right leg into your left. It's going to feel a little different right now because your left hip is more open than your right. Dropping your butt back as far as you can. Making sure that you can see your toes. At the same time, trying to straighten your upper body so that your back is perpendicular with the ground. So you can use your core strength here to help keep your body upright. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet come to the back of the mat. Lower down, chaturangas. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now your left leg's going to come up. Left leg comes to be framed by your hands. Right knee comes down. Tops of toes on your right come down, touching the ground. And then you're going to come into a low lunge with your left leg out in front. Left hip comes back, right hip comes forward so that they're even. Your hips are in a line here. Bring your hands to your thigh. Start to open up your hip flexors a little. A little further forward if you can. A little deeper stretch. Bring your hands to frame your foot. And then bring your right foot up to meet your left foot and come into chair pose. Squeeze your thighs together. And reach up. Make sure that you can see your toes when you look down. If you have to start up here to do it, that's fine. If you do a lot of squats, or if you're just naturally flexible or strong in your legs, you should be able to do this already. If you can't, just come up here and eventually you'll get lower. Make sure you're trying to keep an arch in your back here, so it's rounded, so you're squeezing together kind of. So you're squeezing, compressing your back as if you were in when you do cow pose when you're on the ground, or when you're trying to bring your butt up higher. Basically you're making like kind of this with your back. Instead of it being straight like this or forward like this, you're gonna try and squeeze
up and back, if that makes sense. You're going to try and make this kind of shape with your lower back. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long spine, neck in line, looking straight down. Exhale, forward fold. Feet come back. Lower down, chaturangas. Inhale, upward dog. Pressing tops of feet in the ground. And then exhale, down dog. Right leg comes up. Right leg comes to be framed by your feet. Go up into high lunge now. So your right knee over right ankle. Left heel pressing back toward the back wall. This hip pulling forward. Right hip pulling back in the socket. Pelvis turns slightly upward. Core engaged. Hands, shoulders set back. So to do that, bring your shoulders up and then kind of lower them down into they have a little pocket that just belongs. If you let your hand just kind of lay loose, that's where your shoulders should be. That's shoulder level. Then bring your hands up. Find that little pocket again. Hands should be straight here though. Just because you're not reaching as high as you can doesn't mean that your hands aren't engaged here and that your hands aren't straight. Toes come off the ground on your right foot. And then go a little deeper if you can. Making sure that you're always pressing into your heel on your back foot. Then bring your hands, prayer. Lean forward and then twist. Bring your elbow to the outside of your right knee and then start to twist your back toward the right wall, right side wall. Reach your body forward and twist, but don't push your elbow into your knee and use that pressure to twist. You want to use your core strength. You want to use your inner muscles to twist your body. And then when your heart comes to your hands, you can open your hands up like this for a little deeper stretch. Or if you're content where you are, just stay here like this. And bring your hands back to frame your foot. Bring your left foot to meet your right foot. And chair pose. Squeezing your thighs together, reaching up, trying to get a straight back. Exhale, forward fold. And then spread your feet about 2 fist widths apart. And then grab with your peace fingers, your middle finger and your ring finger, your big toe. Pull down, pull your chest into your thigh. Do a half lift. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. And then pull again, trying to pull your head down, using your bicep strength to pull your upper body closer to your lower body. And try and straighten your legs as you're doing this. Strength of this pose comes from you pulling upward on your toes with your biceps. Let your head hang here. Just let it be a weight. And remember to try and keep your chest squeezed into your thighs. Release your fingers. Bring your feet back together. Chair pose. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your feet back. Chaturangas, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now you're going to bring your left leg up. Left leg comes to be framed by your hands. Come up into a high lunge with your left leg in front now. So again, this hip comes forward, knee over ankle. Left hip comes back, pressing heel toward the back wall. Turning pelvis slightly upward, core's engaged. Reach your body up, set your arms back in your shoulders. Try to bring your crown of your head as high as possible. And then lift your left toes off the ground. And now you're in Crescent Warrior. You want to try and have this leg straight. So the more you engage the muscles in this leg, the more you squeeze your quadriceps, the straighter your leg is going to be. Bring your hands to prayer. Reach your body forward so that your upper body is in line with your back leg. And then twist your body. Bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. And then use your core strength. Don't use your elbow as a crank. Use your core strength to twist your body toward the side wall. Good way to do this is imagining that you're pulling this part of your body, this oblique, this piece of your stomach over. And then when you've got a good base here, when your heart is facing your hands here, you can open your hands up, reach up with your left hand, reach down with your right, and get a little deeper stretch. Make sure that your legs stay engaged here, that you're always pressing in your back foot. Bring your hands back together. And then release your hands to the ground, frame your left foot. And then bring your right foot forward to meet your left foot. And chair pose. Squeeze thighs together. Hands come up, biceps frame your ears. Butt drops back. Forward fold. And then let's spread our feet again. And let's set up for Padahastasana, gorilla pose. So your hands slip under your feet and your toes come to your wrist. And then you round your back. And you just let this pose provide some relief for your lower back. Straighten your legs as much as you want to. And then let your head just hang. You can move your toes, that'll help massage your wrist. I promise it won't hurt unless you're doing this on a pile of rocks, in which case I'd be very impressed. Let's release your hands, bring your feet back together, and chair pose. So again, in chair pose, the majority of your weight is in the back and middle of your foot. So your toes can come off the ground here. And then your biceps frame your ears. And you try to make your back as straight as possible. And try and bring your butt as far back as possible, like you're sitting into a chair. Hence the name chair pose. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Bring your feet to the back of the mat. Bring your body forward, prepare to flow, chaturangas. Lower down, keeping your elbows tucked into your sides. And then inhale, halfway lift. Inhale, up dog. Using your lower body strength. Not just pressing in your hands and using your chest muscles here. Trying to open your chest up as much as possible. And then exhale, exhale, down dog. Come to your knees and hands. We're going to do a couple of quick cat cows. So as you inhale, you arch your back, trying to bring your butt high, and then reaching up with your head, trying to compress your lower back. And then exhale, you round your back as much as possible. Bring your head down to cat, to angry cat. You try and bring this part of your back up as high as possible. And then inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat.
Inhale, cow.
Exhale, cat.
And then press back into a down dog. Just bring your right leg up.
Bring your right leg to be framed by your feet. Let's go into warrior one. So left foot's going to be at about a 45-degree angle, pointed to about 10 o'clock. And you're going to come up, twist your hips so that they're facing forward. If you squeeze this leg, if you squeeze your back leg, it actually helps twist your hips forward. Then you want to bring your knee over your ankle. Make sure that your back foot is entirely on the ground. So even the sides of your back foot, the outside of your left foot should still be touching the mat. And then you've got your hips facing forward. Start to reach your hands up. Biceps frame your ears. Again, always engage your core by tilting your pelvis slightly upward. And try and go a little lower in this pose. As you breathe in, bring your crown of your head higher. As you breathe out, try and go a little deeper into the pose. Sinking your knee a little lower, pressing down a little harder on your back foot. Let's open up into warrior two. Back foot spins, face the side one out at a 90-degree angle. And then your knee is over, same position, knee is still over your ankle. Hips are now facing the side wall. Try to bring this knee to this wall, so bringing this knee to the opposite side wall, the opposite direction which your hips are facing. Press down on your back foot. Engage your core, pelvis turns slightly upward. Engage your core, trying to bring your crown of your head as high as possible. Hands come out to the sides. Relax them into your shoulders. And then look straight over your middle finger. As you exhale, try and get a little deeper into this pose. If your knee is over your ankle here, you might want to drop your feet back, your back foot a little back, a little farther. If you can't achieve this bend here, if you can't get your knee over your ankle, then bring your back foot a little closer. You should be able to see your big toe and your second biggest toe. If you look around here, your head, your knee shouldn't be obscuring that vision. If it is, your hip's not open enough. Let's kick up into half moon now. So you're gonna bend a little down into your back foot. Prepare to launch into your right foot. So come up on your right foot now. Lower your right hand down to the ground, or if you have something to hold on to, like a book or a water bottle, you can do that. And then you're going to reach your left foot out. It's going to be parallel with the ground, actively engaged, trying to reach your back foot toward the back wall, dorsiflexed. So your toes are coming forward toward you. And then if you can, reach your left hand up, and then bring your right hand off the ground. And try and balance here. The final expression of this pose is looking toward the side wall. I still have a little trouble with that. And then lower your hand down. Keep your left foot in the air and fold into needle. You're just going to bring your hands in front of you. Try and bring your head to your knee, and then raise your left leg up as high as you can. But make sure that it stays in line with your right leg. You don't want to have it twist open like that. You want to have it straight. A few more breaths. Reach up a little higher on your left foot. And then exhale, bring your left foot to meet your right foot. Come up into chair pose. 5 deep breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet come to the back of the mat. And then lower down, chaturangas. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. So now your left legs can come up. Left legs can come forward. Be framed by your hands. Spin your back foot so that it's 45-degree angle, pointing toward about 2 o'clock. And then come up, knee over ankle, back foot pressing down into the mat. Engage the muscles in your back leg that help turn your hips open, facing the front wall. Bend a little deeper into your front foot, making sure that you're keeping pressure in your back foot that's completely rooted in the ground. And then reach your body up. Warrior one. Let's open up into warrior two now. So spin your back foot so that it's 90 degrees. Make your hips open to the side wall now. Make sure your knee's pointing over your middle toe and that your knee is trying to come to this opposite wall. So the opposite direction, the opposite wall that your hips are facing. Squeezing your legs open. Pelvis tilts slightly up so your core is engaged. Chest and upper body is facing the side wall. Then bring your hands up. And then gaze over your middle finger, warrior two. Try to come a little deeper into this pose, pressing in your back foot, lowering down. You get a nice 90-degree angle bend in your front leg, trying to pull your knee closer to the front, closer to the side wall. Hands are level with shoulders, gazing forward. Couple more breaths here. Now we're going to prepare for a half moon. So bend a little bit in your back foot. Get ready to spring into your left foot and bring your body weight into your left leg entirely. Let your left hand touch the ground. Bring your right foot up. Try and make it parallel with the ground. And then engage all the muscles in your right leg. Dorsiflex your right foot. Reach your right arm up so that it's parallel with the ground. Half moon. And then if you can, come off your left hand just so you're balancing in your left foot. And if you fall, it's fine. Just keep trying. And if you can't balance, then just use a block, use a water bottle, or something to hold on to. You can use a wall if you want. Trying for a few more seconds here. And now turn your hips so that they're facing forward now. Hands come to the front of the mat and fold into needle. So you're going to try and bring your head to your knee and reach your right leg up as high as you can. Make sure that it's still in line with your other hip. A few more breaths here. Use your core to squeeze your upper body into your thigh. Reach your right leg up as high as you can. And then bring your right leg to meet your left foot. And come into chair pose. 5 breaths here. Squeezing thighs together. Toes off the ground. Back straight. In a cow back. Biceps frame your ears. Looking forward. 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet come to the back of the mat. Lower down, chaturangas. Inhale, up dog. And then exhale, down dog. Pressing your heels into the ground. Do one more standing pose. So bring your knees forward, look forward, jump, bring your feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Bring your hands to prayer, exhale. And we're gonna set up for dancer. So for dancer, come to the middle of your mat. Left hand comes all the way up. Right leg comes up. Right hand comes up like you're a waiter. And then grab the inside of your ankle. Make sure that your left foot is steady. And to do that, you're going to squeeze into the ground kind of. So root your foot into the ground. Engage all your muscles in your leg. You don't want to quite have your leg perfectly straight. You want to have just a micro bend in that knee. And then engage your quadriceps. And then you kind of turn your leg just a little to the left, just a little outside. That helps make your leg a little stronger. So get back into setting up for dancer pose. And then you're going to push back into your push your right foot into your hand. And then as that right leg goes back, your left hand comes forward. Palm facing the ground. All the power of this pose comes from you pushing your right foot into your hand. If you're looking at a mirror, you're going to see your right foot come out of your head. 5 more breaths. Three, 2, 1. Come out of that. Same way you came in. Let your right leg come down to the mat. Regain your composure just a little bit. Inhale your right hand up. Left hand comes out to side. Grab the inside of your left ankle now. Make sure your right foot is rooted. The muscles in your right foot are engaged. And then start to press your left foot into your hand and reach forward. Palm facing the ground. Again, all the power comes from you pressing in to your hand with your foot. And as you push back, reach forward with your right hand. Keep going. A few more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Come out of it the same way you came in. Let your foot come to the ground gently. Right hand comes down. Come to mountain pose just for a little bit. Palms facing the front wall. Legs engaged. Quadriceps engaged. Pelvis turned slightly upward and core engaged. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale all the way up. Full mountain pose. Hands come to touch. Forward fold. Exhale. Lower down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet come to the back of the mat. Body comes slightly forward. Lower down, chaturangas. Elbows in tight. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Press your heels into the mat. Getting one really good stretch, one last really good stretch in your calves before we come to the seated poses. So engage your quadriceps, trying to make an L with your body. We're going to do 3 lion's breaths. So normally in yoga, you're breathing entirely through your nose and out through your nose. But whenever we say lion's breath, that means open your mouth, let your tongue out, and just go. So 3 lion's breaths. Inhale. Exhale, let it all out. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your knees to the mat. Bring your knees to the width of the mat. Big toes come together to touch the back. And sink into child's pose, just for a little bit here. Pressing your hands into the mat, trying to bring your hips into that socket where your heels are, and that opening that your big toe creates, that your big toes create. And inhale, exhale forward, lower down, and we're going to start the back strengthening series. Like I said, we would concentrate on today. So, first things first, let's do Cobra. Feet come together. The insides of feet touching each other. Insides of your feet touching each other. Hands under your shoulders. Quadriceps engaged. Press the tops of your feet into the ground. And then on inhale, bring your chest off the ground. And try and reach your head forward. Reaching the crown of your head up. Trying to create some length in your spine. Arching your back though. And lower down. Let the left side of your left cheek touch the ground. Hands come to rest at your sides, palms facing upward. And let's prepare for second set of Cobra. So bring your hands back on your shoulders. Insides of your feet are touching. Quadriceps engaged, pressing your tops of your toes into the ground. Inhale. Body comes off the ground. Make sure you're breathing here. Breathe nice, slow, and controlled. Trying to arch your back. So creating this shape with your back. And you don't need your hands here. If you want, you can use your hands to pull yourself forward a little bit. Make sure you're pressing toes into the ground. And exhale. Release. Right cheek comes to mat now. Hands come to side. And breathe. Now we're going to do a new one. This is called Locust. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to guide you through it while speaking, so I'll try, but I think my breath is going to be too labored to do that. So in order to do this, your hands are going to come under your body. So you kind of walk your hands in. Palms are touching the ground. So your wrists are forward. Your fingers are pointed toward the back wall. And then you bring your hands under the ground. The outsides of your pinkies come to meet in the middle. And your chin is resting on the ground. This is a very awkward pose. Very hard at first, but luckily for you, we're only doing it twice. So, first you're going to relax your left leg entirely and just bring your right leg up about 45 degrees, a little higher, and then lower down. Now we're going to do our left leg. So inhale, left leg up, right leg completely relaxed. Reaching your left leg back as far as you can, bringing it as high as you can. And then release. Now we're going to come to full locust. So reposition your hands so they're just a little bit closer. You're going to bring your mouth so that your mouth is on the mat, so that you're kissing the mat. And then you're going to reach up with both legs and you're going to try and bring your weight into the front of your body. So your hips are entirely off the ground, legs are entirely off the ground, legs squeezed together in this. And it's going to look like this. So on an inhale, come up, trying to bring the weight into the front, reaching back, exhale, lower down. Bring your hands out from underneath you, bring your left cheek to rest against the mat, and let your hands rest at the side with palms facing upward. We're going to do one more of those. So walk your hands back under you with your palms down, and your fingers, your outsides of pinkies touching. Face comes into the mat, and then reach up. And lower down. Bring your hands out. Hands come to side, palms facing upward. Right cheek comes on the ground. Now we're going to do Super Yogi, otherwise known as Superman. Hands are going to come out. You're going to point your feet and your hands to all four corners of the mat. And you're just going to reach up as high as you can. You're going to reach your hands up as high as you can. You're going to reach your feet up as high as you can. And at the same time, you're going to try and create as much length as possible. So you're going to be reaching as far as you can back and as far as you can forward. Make sure that you're breathing in this pose. Everyone exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And on the inhale, come up. Reaching in all four directions. Just your hips on the ground. Try and get a little higher. Lower down. Maybe one more set of those. Trying to hold it for 5 breaths. So hands come out. We're going to do a little different this time. So now you're going to try and keep your feet about a foot apart, 6 inches to 1 foot apart. You're going to your hands are going to come a little closer together, and you're going to. So basically, it's the same, except there's just less gap between your hands and your feet. So inhale, exhale, and on the inhale, come up. Reaching in opposite directions. Lower down. So now you're going to come to a seated position. And you're going to roll down onto your back. And, yep, your bridge pose. So bring your heels close to your butt. Hands come to the sides. So arms come to the side, palms down. You're going to press up in your feet. Try and bring your hips up. Try and bring your chest up. Weights in your shoulders and then your feet. Press up on your feet to get a little more arch in your back. Interlace your fingers under your hands. Under your body. Make sure that your knees are staying squeezed together here, that they're not widening. Feet are flat on the ground. If you can, touch your pinkies to the ground. Press into your feet a little more. Lower down. Take a couple breaths here. And then we're going to go into bridge pose or wheel pose. So if you're doing wheel, bring your hands to the back. Flip your hands so that your fingers are facing toward the front. And then push up. Make sure that your legs are close together here, squeezing your knees together. Arms can be straight or bent a little bit. For increased resistance, for a little deeper bend, you can straighten your legs, or you can straighten your arms, or you can walk your feet closer to your hands, or your hands closer to your feet. If this causes significant pain in your lower back, get out of this and go back to bridge pose. 5 more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Lower down slowly, letting your vertebrae hit the ground one at a time. And then opening your legs up, placing soles of feet together, and relaxing a little bit here. close your knees together. Bring your knees into the chest. And then you're going to squeeze. So let one leg come out. So let's let your left leg come to rest. And interlace your fingers just under your knee. And using bicep strength, pull your right knee into your right shoulder. So bring it around your ribs. Bring it toward your right shoulder, squeezing as hard as possible, helping to massage your inner organs. Squeeze as hard as you can. And release. Now bring your left leg up. Grab just under your knee. Bring your left knee to your left shoulder. Right leg is relaxed. Left leg's entirely relaxed. And then squeeze. Squeeze as tight as you can for 10 seconds. Three, two, one, release. And then come up now. And we're going to go into one final back bend. Actually, we'll do two more back bends here. First, I just want to try Camel. So Camel, I'm going to go like this so you guys can see me. You're going to place your hands at your back like this, on your upper hips, like you were placing your hands in your back pocket. You're going to look up, you're going to bring your chest up, bring your hips forward, and then you're just going to slowly bring your body up and back. So you don't want to just bend straight like this down, because you're going to squeeze your lumbar together too much, you're going to hurt your vertebrae. So in order to do this, you really need to be conscious about bringing your head up and back, not just back. So you're lengthening your back at the same time as you bend back. So bring your hands to the back, look up, chest comes up, hips come forward, and then at the same time, as you're bending your back, you try and get a little longer in your spine. Bringing your hips forward. You can do this without your lower back hurting. Go for it. If you start to hurt, stay where you are. I'm sorry, if you start to hurt, go back to where it didn't hurt. I said that wrong. And start to come up the same way you came in. Using your hands to provide some support for your lower back. And I like to bend a little bit here. So come into like a small embryo, just to help release some of that pressure. And then come up, we're gonna do one more back bend. In order to do this, you're gonna find a wall. So I'll use this one, door. And you're gonna bring your hands to the wall like this. You can bring your feet out as far as you want, but this is going to help you prepare for bridge. If you ever want to get into, this is going to help you work into wheel. If you ever want to get into wheel, it'll also help improve lower back strength, your flexibility in your lower back. So you're going to look back, reach back, and then you're going to bring your hands to the wall. And you're just going to start walking your hands down the wall. If it starts to hurt, don't go any lower. And you should use a wall that isn't slippery. When you think you can't go any farther back into the wall, some things you can do to help get a little deeper stretch is to straighten your legs. So if you walk back into it with bent legs, like this, let's say I think that I can't go any farther here, and straighten my legs and get a little deeper stretch. And then walk out of it the same way you came in. Then we're going to go into child's pose. That was probably very stressful on your lower back. Probably going to feel that tomorrow. It's not in a bad way though. As long as you didn't feel a significant crack, you should be okay. When we're doing back openers, you really don't want to go for that back crack that you're doing when your friend walks on your back, or when your friend bear hugs you and like shakes you, like he's trying to crack your back, or when you're in a chair and you twist, because that's not really stretching. That's not really stretching. That's not opening up your back. That's not what we're looking for. So every time you do an up dog and every time you do a bridge or a wheel, your back cracks. That's not good. That's not what we're looking for. So just be mindful of that. So come to a child's pose. Knees come to mat with distance. Butt sinks into your heels. Hands walk out forward. And then you press your hands into the mat, trying to bring your hips toward your heels. I'm going to take 10 deep breaths here. I'm going to come up. And I'm going to end it right there. So, thanks for watching today. Namaste. Sorry, let's bring it into a final pose. So cross your legs. Rest your hands on your knees. You should have a very strong back today, so you should be able to have a nice long spine here. Bring your hands to prayer. Close your eyes and just take a minute and appreciate what you were able to do today. Don't reflect on what you couldn't do. And then bow. Namaste. So, thanks for watching today. Today we tried to focus a little bit more on back. We did a lot of back openers, a lot of back strengtheners. So that should help with lower back, which is why most people actually do yoga. A lot of people who do weightlifting, a lot of people who do sports, they'll go to the doctor with lower back problems, and he'll say do yoga. So, lower back yoga, good thing. Anyways, Facebook.com/manfulyoga, Twitter @manfulyoga, YouTube.com/manfulyoga, and manfulyoga.wordpress.com. Thanks for watching, and again, namaste.